Hello there, listener. Today you are listening to A&E podcast about the Canadian Railway and the Chinese immigrants. On February 16, 1881, the famous Canadian Pacific Railway idea was born. The railway was made as a promise to British Columbia so that they would join Confederation in 10 years. John A. Macdonald, Prime Minister at the time, decided to have Chinese immigrants come and help the process of the railway go by quicker. By the end of 1882, 15,701 Chinese immigrants migrated to Canada in hope of finding a job. Lucky for them, they all got a job of working at the Canadian Railway.
Even though the Chinese immigrants got a job, they were still treated unfairly. They only got 1/3 of the average pay and were often chosen to do all the dangerous jobs, such as carrying the dynamite into the mines to blow them up. Their living conditions were not the same as the Canadians working on the railroad. They did not get paid as much, they had to provide their own food and water, whereas the Canadians did not, and they did not get any vacations, so they would never be able to go home and see their families.
Even though all the new Chinese workers were helping them, building the railroad was not an easy task. It was 22,500 kilometers long, and at least 800 people died throughout the process. It took 10 years to build because they did not have the modern technology, so they had to put down each individual plank one by one and 2 long strips of metal just to make sure it all stayed in place.
Since everything was done by hand, when they had a big rock or mountain in the way of the railroad's path, they would have to get someone to carry the liquid dynamite into the mines to blow it up. This job usually went to the Chinese laborers, so of the 800 people that died working on the railroad, 600 were Chinese. Although this wasn't the only cause of death for the Chinese, they also could have died from the bad food and horrible living conditions. Thank you for listening to A&E podcast about the Canadian Railroad. We hope you now know a little bit more about how it was built and what the conditions were like.